there! So today we're going to do another slow stitch project, and this is a meditation scroll, one that I made just over a week ago I think it was, and I've filmed the process for you just in case you wanted to do something similar. So I started off with just some scraps of some batting. It's actually some batting that I had for some quilt making that I was doing. I do believe it's a cotton one, and I'm using some strips of lace. Now I've got a lot of this lace, so I might be putting some in my Etsy shop soon, so watch out for that just in case I decide to make up some kits. So I cut the batting into some strips to match the width of the lace just to make it easy for me, and I did use some glue stick and use that to stick the batting down onto the lace. Now it is actually an iron-on batting, but I don't think it particularly irons on very well, so I didn't actually do that, but I did use a glue stick. But it's still, because of the way the lace is, it didn't stick very well, so I actually used my little clips as well just to hold that in place while I did the joins. And you can see that I just did the pieces of batting, joined those onto the lace where they had to be joined together, and then I folded the ends of the lace over onto the batting and then just sewed those in place as well. And I left the very end just raw because I'll probably be covering that with fabric. So here you can see it's all sewn together. It's not obviously perfectly attached, but when I start stitching some fabric on top of that, that is going to attach really well. So that's the lace. Now I had this old Gutermann bobbin. I'd used all the thread off it, so I decided to use that as the base of my meditation scroll bobbin, so that I could wind it up and then wind it back out again when I'm out and about doing my stitching. So all I did was basically just wind it around the bobbin and then stitch the end piece onto the actual the lace and batting, and that just holds it in place. Now I know you're going to think, oh well, I can't work on that bit now because it's all wound round a bobbin, but I don't actually intend to do any stitching on that very end bit anyway. I actually want to leave it as it is, so that when the rest of it is completely covered in fabric and stitches, I'll be able to see what the original lace and batting look like together, because I just wanted to keep that bit clean. It's almost just to remind myself how far I've come with the project. Now this project may never ever be finished because obviously it's a meditation scroll, so the point of it is just to very mindfully stitch and really just enjoy the process and to empty my mind of any stresses or anxiety when I'm doing the stitching. So it's a great project. I've just wound it up and then I'm using it in this little mesh bag that I got some face wipes in. I think they were bamboo sort of facial pads, so I've just popped it in that, and I'm going to be using that out in the garden when I go and sit with the bunnies. I'll be just doing some mindful meditation stitching out and about, and I'm going to be taking my little scrap bag of very neutral scraps. I wanted to keep this a very neutral coloured project, and I'm using some lovely natural fibres in there, so I've got some silk and wool scraps and things like that, and some cotton. So here you can see I've started to do some stitching. The first piece I put on there is some silk, and it is absolutely gorgeous to wear with. I absolutely love silk. They're only scraps, and honestly when I first started this, I thought what put me off doing one of these in the past is I didn't think that I would be able to stitch long pieces. I thought I would get bored and that I wouldn't do it, but I've really enjoyed doing it, particularly starting with the silk because it's so easy to stitch through. And the second piece I popped on there was just a piece of tea dyed cotton. It's vintage cotton, and it's got a few little sort of stains where I've tea dyed it, so it just looks really lovely and vintagey, and again it's really nice to stitch through. And I'm using some thicker cotton to stitch through as well. Just a really lovely relaxing project to do, and the colours are just very relaxing on the mind as well because they're all really lovely neutral colours. But I definitely recommend using the silk, and I can't wait to use some of my silk threads with this as well. So there's a little bit of silk that I'm probably putting on next. You can see the lovely colours. I basically just popped them in this resealable food and freezer bag, and that's some of the wool that I'm going to be popping on top as well. So I'm really enjoying the project so far. It's so easy to do. I can just roll it up and then get it out again when I'm sat outside. I'm just carrying the tiniest little stitching kit with me when I go outside, so I'm just really enjoying myself. And I would highly recommend making one for yourself. So that's how I did it, and that's the finished project so far. And hopefully if you've enjoyed this, please do give me a thumbs up, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. So take care, bye!